Hello everyone, Justin here, and today we are going to draw a bee. So let's go ahead and start by drawing a circle. And then at the top we'll draw a straight line going across about half the diameter of the circle. So let's go about here. Just go straight across. And then at the ends we're going to draw a half circle to try to touch the circle that we drew. Okay, and we'll do the other side, and these are going to be the eyes. And then just on either side of this center we'll go ahead and draw another line, both sides. So now we're going to go down about 2 circles. So this distance right here, we're going to go 1, 2. What we're going to do here is we're going to start off to the side here, and we're going to draw a nice curve that starts to angle in faster towards the bottom. So we'll go down and then curve in. You can see that the curve is more acute here towards the bottom. So we'll do the same thing on the other side. So whenever you're trying to draw something symmetric, what you want to do is look at the center line, which was right here, and look at this distance. So we want to replicate the distance to the other side. So right there. So now we have a target to go for when we draw this line. So let's go ahead and start drawing this line to that dot and start heading back. Okay, let's go ahead and draw the legs. So going at about a 40-degree angle this way out to the side, let's draw a slight curve and do the same on the other side, and go ahead and curve out that end and make another curve back to the leg. And we'll do the same thing here, curve out the end and back to the body. So the second part of his leg will go up again, a slight curve, square out the end, and then it's going to taper to the elbow. Same here, slight curve up, curve out the end, and then taper to the elbow. Okay, so now let's do the pinchers back at the end of the arm. Just go like that, and we're going to do a slight wavy line coming back. Same on the other side, a slight curve and then a slightly wavy line. Let's draw a couple antennas here. So same thing as this, go out, curve out the end, and then come back. Out and back. And now we can draw these 2 thin lines parallel to each other for the ends of the antenna. Alright, so now we're going to do some divisions on the body itself. Let's just go ahead and draw just a slightly curved line, and then another one, and we'll just keep going down. Next thing we'll do is we'll draw the wings, and what we're going to do is we're going to make it extend not quite as long as the body. So let's say here's the length of the body, let's go up this way. Alright, so starting here on the side of the circle that we had drawn initially, we're going to have a slight curve that goes out first. Just a slight curve out, and then it's going to start curving in towards our finger. to a nice rounded end. Alright, so now the inner part of the wing is going to go in this way towards the body up to about here. Okay, so let's just put a dot there, and it's going to go back up to meet up with the side of the circle. So curve up and meeting the side. Okay, so let's do the same on the other side. So we look at this, we could use our pen. I've got my finger there at the center line, so right about here is going to be the tip of our wing. So we'll do the inside edge first, going down, and then to our dot, slight curve. And let's look at the thickness of this wing here on the left. So it's about, let's say, right about here. So we're going to go to that point with our curve, and then have that slight outside curve line. So let's start up here this time, slight curve to meet up with our wing on this side. Don't worry about it not being perfect. It's difficult to make it perfect. So let's look at this, the wing pattern. Going down to about our second line here, let's draw a line on in the wing, going down about the middle, and it's going to curve in to that line. And let's just go ahead and do that on the other side. Starting at the middle of the wing here, we're gonna go out and curve in. Okay, so from here then we're going to draw another line that goes all the way down here, not at the tip but just a little bit off to the right. So starting here, and we're going to make this not perfectly straight but kind of organic. And here we can do something different. So from here then, let's go ahead and draw another line right next to it that goes all the way down here, and then we'll draw a small curved line right next to this, and then at this corner then we're going to draw another line that goes to the tip. And here we're going to kind of make it a little bit irregular down to the tip, and then another line parallel to this, starting at this line. We'll just go down to the edge, and finally one more down here, and we're going to make it a little bit irregular coming in and then back to the inside of the wing. Alright, so let's add some divisions here. So about halfway down this open space, we'll put a curved line there, and then maybe here another curved line, and then up here. And you can kind of make these a little bit random and maybe draw another one right there. So on this side we'll make this a little bit different, but let's see, let's go ahead and start by doing the same thing where we drew this line right here, except this time here we're going to make this into its own little shape. Okay, and then from here we'll put our line out to the side and add another line here closer to the edge than here, just to make it a little bit different, and then make these lines a little bit more lengthwise in the direction. Alright, so let's draw another shape down here and draw a couple lines that radiate, and one more line closer to the edge, and then finally a line that goes like that. Alright, so the pattern on the wing can vary a lot from bee to bee and from wing to wing on the same bee, so that's why I kind of tried to vary that a little bit. This somewhat stylized is not meant to be super realistic or anything, so taking some liberties here. So let's go ahead on with the legs. So let's do there are 4 legs in the back, 2 pairs. So let's look at the closer one first. So from this first line, we're going to draw a curved long oval that's kind of squared off, and then one on this side. I'm going to make this one a little bit more horizontal, and then from here we're going to draw something similar again where the closer end is a little bit thinner. So let's go ahead and go out this way wide, and then it's going to narrow as it gets to this point. Same thing here, we'll start here at the proximal point, and it's going to get wider as we go out, and then we're going to make it step down, angle down a little bit. Again, another long oval, and here a long oval, and finally the end, and we'll just make it kind of sharp, pincher like. So let's do the other pair of legs, and again we'll draw from here the second line. Now we're going to draw a long oval, and coming down here a long oval, and then again we'll do something similar to this where it's tapered at the proximal end. Proximal means closer to the body. So here we'll go ahead and draw a nice curved line, and then another one next to it, but we're gonna flare out like that and round off the ends, and same thing here. So curve the end, and then we're going to taper towards the proximal end. Okay, and finally the last part, another slight curve, and finish that off, and finally we'll just add a couple pointy ends. Okay, so let's just stylize this a little bit with a thicker Sharpie and make the outlines a little bit more bold and add some shadows. So let's start at the arm here. Let's just go ahead and darken the upper part of that arm. Same with here, and just experiment when you add some of these extra heavy lines. So here I'm going to go ahead and add the shading for the eyeball, for the eyes, to the right of this line and the bottom right. And I'm gonna outline the body now and add a cast shadow right under here. And what we'll do here now is we're going to curve each of these segments so the ends will actually be slightly round. So we'll just do a scallop motion here, and that will end up hiding our original lines. Okay, so we'll go ahead and darken each of these leg segments. This time we'll just darken the lower part and keep the upper part light. And we'll do the same here. Lower part here, darkened, and keep a sliver of paper showing at the top. Alright, let's do this side, and just like here, I'm going to darken just the right side. Okay, we're going to go back to our thin Sharpie, and we're going to make each of these segments darker, but we'll use our Sharpie to do that. And I'm keeping this part kind of loose. Doesn't have to be perfect. I want it to look a little bit more organic here. Here. And I'm going to add a little bit of shading as well to the right side. And I'm still keeping the marks horizontal. And finally the bottom. And I'm going to do the same thing up here, where I'm going to shade in kind of like the bottom part and the bottom right, just to give it some form. And I'm going to shade in the upper section as well, the head. Just horizontal lines here. We already put in some shadow with our thick Sharpie here, so I'm not going to worry about that part. And I'm going to go ahead and add some dots just for texture. Alright, so each of these segments now will have kind of a triangular section, so I'm just going to go ahead and draw these triangles and shade it similar to what we already did, just like that. Alright, now we're also going to go over some of these wing segments so that it's not so even. So we'll make certain areas thicker. So let's make this part thicker here and here. And I'm not talking about making it evenly thick. So here, see how I bumped it out a little bit there, and maybe thicker there. Just vary it somehow, some way, maybe thicker right there at the end. And what you could also do is kind of go over those lines, certain parts like that. And here, let's say I'll just go over this part, and that'll naturally make certain areas, certain lines a little bit thicker. And let's use that technique here. So I'm going to double the lines here, maybe right here, this section, and here, the end, this part right here, a couple lines here, this part. Okay, and then maybe this outer part, I'm gonna go ahead and just add extra lines, and that will naturally vary the thickness, so it's a little bit random. Okay, just gonna add a couple extra lines here on the legs for more shadow, and that should pretty much do it. So thanks for watching. I hope you got something out of this video, and I'll see you at the next one. Thanks and have a great day.